You'll do what I say, or you're done in this town. Arthur Feldman's voice echoes through Paramount's largest soundstage. 243 people turn to look. Feldman is 58 years old, 6'2", 240 pounds, 27 years in Hollywood, one of the most powerful producers, 14 blockbuster films, 8 Oscar nominations, started at Warner Bros. At 18, moved to Paramount at 32, now has the studio's biggest office, 3,700 square feet, crystal chandelier, Italian marble, and right now he's screaming at Steve McQueen. McQueen doesn't move, arms crossed, eyes cold. Nobody knows McQueen has something in his pocket, something that will end Feldman's career in 30 seconds. 1971, February, Paramount Studios, Soundstage 7, budget meeting for the Getaway Project. Director Sam Peckinpah sits in front, studio head Frank Yoblin's on the right, 26-member production team in the back. Everyone's watching Feldman. Feldman slams the contract on the table. Papers scatter. You want how much? Are you out of your mind? McQueen's asking price, $750,000, plus profit participation, plus producer credit. Feldman read it. Couldn't believe it. Who does this guy think he is? One of cinema's greatest stars? Or just a good-looking guy on a motorcycle? Feldman doesn't know. Nobody knows. But McQueen knows. 2 months ago, McQueen did something. Very quietly. Only 12 people knew. His lawyers, his accountants, and 2 Paramount board members. McQueen started buying Paramount stock, quietly, slowly, small packages. What does he have now? 15%. 15% of Paramount Pictures. $14.5 million of a $97 million studio belongs to McQueen. And Feldman has no idea. Feldman circles the table, waving his finger. You think you're special? You think you're irreplaceable? Silence. I've worked with Brando. I've worked with Newman. I've worked with Poitier. Real actors. Academy Award winners. You're just a guy who looks good on a bike. 243 people hold their breath. Sam Peckinpah leans forward, wants to say something, but stops. Frank Yablans frowns. This meeting is spiraling out of control. McQueen still hasn't moved. Feldman continues. Harder now. Your last 3 films? Mediocre. The Reavers? Flopped. Le Mans? Disaster. On Any Sunday? Documentary. That's not ACT. He rattles off numbers, box office figures, critics' scores, all low, all disappointing. So here's what we're gonna do. You'll take $500,000, no back end, no producer credit, and you'll say thank you. Feldman crosses his arms. Done. Decided. 243 people look at McQueen. McQueen stands, slowly, adjusts his jacket. Nobody knows what's coming. McQueen walks toward Feldman. 3 steps, 4 steps, 5 steps, stops. 2 men face to face. Feldman's 4 inches taller, 40 pounds heavier. But there's something in McQueen's eyes. A coldness, a certainty. McQueen speaks, voice low, calm. Arthur, you've been here 27 years. Feldman raises his eyebrows. What's happening? You've made 14 hits, 8 nominations. Very impressive. Silence. But your last 3 films? Let me remind you. Paint Your Wagon. 19 million budget. 9 million box office. Lost 10 million. Darling Lily. 25 million budget. 8 million box office. Lost 17 million. The Molly Maguires. 11 million budget. 2 million box office. Lost 9 million. Feldman's face reddens. $36 million. Lost in 3 years. McQueen takes another step. And you're lecturing me about box office. Feldman's fists clench. The difference between you and me, Arthur, is simple. When I fail, I own it. When you fail, you blame the actors. Feldman wants to speak, but McQueen's not done. But here's what you don't know. McQueen pulls an envelope from his pocket. White, small, plain. This is a stock certificate. Paramount Pictures, 15%. My name on it. He places the envelope on the table. Which means I'm not an employee here, Arthur. I'm an owner. 243 people freeze. Frank Yablans jumps up. Steve, is this? It's real, Frank. Bought it over 8 weeks. Nobody knew. Feldman opens the envelope, reads, eyes widen, hands shake. Impossible. This can't be real. But it is. Signatures there, serial numbers there, Paramount's official seal there. McQueen turns to Frank Yablans. Frank, I'll take the 750 plus back end, and I want Arthur removed from this project. Today. Yablans clears his throat. Steve, we need to discuss. No discussion. I own 15%. You own 12. I have more say than you do. Simple math. McQueen's right. Yablans nods. Understood. McQueen turns to Feldman. Last time. You asked if I think I'm irreplaceable. No, Arthur. I don't think that. But you definitely are. Silence. You're done in this town. McQueen walks to the door. Doesn't look back. Door closes. 243 people still in shock. Feldman sits at the table, head in his hands. 30-year career ending. In 30 seconds. What just happened? Arthur Feldman made a mistake. Classic mistake. Underestimated his opponent. Didn't research his opponent. Didn't know how powerful his opponent had become. And most importantly, screamed in public. Hollywood has a rule. Old rule. Nobody can be harsh with you in private. But in public? In public they humiliate you. Then war begins. Feldman humiliated McQueen in front of 243 people. McQueen ended Feldman's career in front of 243 people. Fair. But the story doesn't end here. That night, Frank Yablans called Arthur Feldman to his office. Conversation lasted 12 minutes. When Feldman came out, his eyes were red. Next morning, Feldman's office was cleared out. 3,700 square feet. Crystal chandelier. Italian marble. All packed up. Feldman's name removed from the studio gate. 14 films. 8 nominations. 27 years. All over. Why? Because Arthur Feldman forgot something. In Hollywood, power isn't based on money. It's based on ownership. Money comes and goes. But ownership is permanent. McQueen knew this. And nobody knew McQueen wasn't just buying stock at Paramount. He was buying elsewhere too. Warner, Columbia, United Artists. In 1971, Steve McQueen wasn't Hollywood's richest actor. Wasn't the most famous either. But he was something. One of the smartest. Feldman had spent years underestimating actors. Gave them money. Used them. Then tossed them aside. Did it to Brando. Did it to Newman. Tried to do it to McQueen. But McQueen was different. McQueen didn't just want money. He wanted power. And he took that power quietly, without anyone noticing. 2 years later, something else happened. Arthur Feldman's looking for work at another studio. Applied to MGM. Rejected. Applied to Fox. Rejected. Applied to Universal. Rejected. Why? Because of rumors circulating at every studio. Arthur Feldman clashed with Steve McQueen. McQueen destroyed him. If we hire Feldman, McQueen won't work with us. And nobody wanted to lose McQueen. But there was a deeper reason. One nobody knew. McQueen had quietly done something else. He'd called board members at every major studio. Private meetings. Simple message. Arthur Feldman, professionally unstable. Lost $36 million in 3 years. High risk. Showed proof. Box office reports. Budget overruns. All documented. Board members listened. Because McQueen wasn't just an actor anymore. He was a shareholder. One of them. Feldman didn't know this. Just wondered, why won't anyone hire me? The answer was simple. McQueen had run a quiet campaign. Blacklisted Feldman. In Hollywood. Legal? No. Effective? Absolutely. Feldman eventually went to Europe. Made small independent films. None successful. Budgets low. No stars. Weak distribution. 1976. Made an Italian film. Il Traitore. The Traitor. Budget, $400,000. Box office, $50,000. 1978. A French film. Le Dernier Combat. The Last Fight. Budget, $300,000. Box office, $20,000. Loss. 1984. Retired. Quietly. Nobody noticed. Hollywood Reporter ran a small paragraph. Arthur Feldman, veteran producer, retires after 40 years in industry. 40 years, 27 at the top, 13 in decline, all because of one day. That day at Soundstage 7, the day he clashed with Steve McQueen. Feldman died in 1991, 68 years old, heart attack, at home alone. His funeral was small, 23 people, old assistants, a few relatives, no Hollywood stars. Compare that to McQueen's memorial service. Over 200 people attended, including legends, James Coburn, Ali McGraw, Sam Peckinpah, Neil Adams. Feldman's, nobody. Steve McQueen, kept going, made The Getaway. Box office, 33 million. Huge hit. Made Papillon. Box office, 53 million. Even bigger. Made Towering Inferno. Box office, 116 million. Biggest film of the year. And every contract had something written on top. No interference from studio executives. Meaning studio executives can't interfere. From that day forward, McQueen never bowed to anyone's pressure. Nobody could tell him what to do. Because he wasn't just an actor anymore. He was an owner, and owners don't take orders. So how did McQueen acquire all that stock? Nobody knew the story, but here's the truth. Two sources, both carefully planned. First, Bullet, shot in 1968. Film was a massive hit, 19 million box office. But that wasn't the important part. The important part was McQueen's contract. What was a standard actor contract back then? Fixed fee, 500,000, 750, maybe $1 million. No matter how much the film made, actor got the same money. McQueen did something different, accepted a lower fee, 300,000, but asked for something, profit participation, 10% of gross. Studio agreed. He wants 300. Great, we saved money. Film shot, released, exploded, 19 million gross, 10%, 1,900,000, went into McQueen's pocket. Studio shocked. Wait, he gets what? Too late. Contract was signed. McQueen took that 1,900,000, didn't deposit it in a bank, didn't spend it. Did what? Invested in Paramount stock. Small packages, 10,000 a week. Slowly, quietly, nobody noticed. Second source was more interesting. Le Mans, shot in 1971. Film flopped. Critics didn't like it. Audiences indifferent. Box office, 8 million. Budget, 12 million. 4 million loss. Everyone said McQueen made a mistake. But McQueen didn't make a mistake. He executed a strategy. Because he financed Le Mans with his own money. Put in 7 million. In return got what? Complete ownership. Film belonged to him. All rights, distribution, merchandise, TV, VHS, all future mediums. In 1971 the film lost money. True. But in 1975 something happened. Film became a cult classic. Started showing at small theaters, became motorsport fans' favorite. 1980, VHS came out. Le Mans broke sales records. 1985 cable TV rights sold, $3 million. 1990 DVD, 5 million more. 2000's Blu-ray, 2 million. Total, $23 million. Just from Le Mans. Invested 7 million, made 23 million. Nobody knew this. Everyone said Le Mans flopped. McQueen quietly profited. And what did he do with that money? Bought more stock, started more companies, gained more control. On October 10th, 1975, something else happened. Another producer said something similar to McQueen. You're getting old, Steve. Time to retire. McQueen played the same card on him. Stock certificates, board meetings, quiet power play. That producer left too. 1976. A director tried to kick McQueen off set. It's my vision, Steve. You do what I say. McQueen called the production company, showed ownership documents. Director was fired. McQueen stayed. Is there a pattern? Yes. Whenever someone told McQueen, you'll do what I say, McQueen gave the same answer. No, you'll do what I say. Because I own this. Ownership. Control. McQueen loved these. Because as a child, he had neither. Now he had both. And nobody could ever underestimate him again. That day, February 1971, at Soundstage 7, in front of 243 people, something changed. Actors weren't just employees anymore. They could be owners. And studio executives weren't gods anymore. They could be fired. McQueen opened that door. Tom Cruise followed. Will Smith followed. Robert Downey Jr. followed. Now every major actor owns a production company. Every major actor wants back-end deals. Every major actor says, I want creative control. They all learned from McQueen, but most don't know. Even if they know, they don't acknowledge it, because McQueen was quiet, never bragged, never said, I did this first, just did it, and left. In 1980, Steve McQueen died, 50 years old, lung cancer, in Mexico, at a small clinic, with no one beside him. His funeral was private, close family only. The memorial service later had over 200 attendees, Hollywood legends paying their respects. Nobody from the studios came to the funeral, because McQueen didn't invite them, didn't want them, didn't need them, but he left something behind, a legacy. Never let them tell you what you're worth. Decide it yourself, then make them accept it. Arthur Feldman tried to tell Steve McQueen what he was worth. McQueen knew his own value, made Feldman accept it. Then, Feldman left, McQueen stayed. Simple, ruthless, but true. To survive in Hollywood, you need two things. First, talent. Second, power. Talent gets you started. Power keeps you safe. McQueen had both. And unfortunately, they don't make men like Steve McQueen anymore. Because McQueen wasn't just an actor, he was a warrior, fought every day, with studios, with directors, with producers, with agents, with everyone, and never lost. Arthur Feldman learned that, the hard way. 243 people learned it too. That day, at Soundstage 7, watching silently, and maybe, you learned it too. Power isn't given to you, it's taken. McQueen took it, and nobody could stop him.